Is that a decision you go through when you're creating your own skin? You think, I don't think I want a mouth.
Actually, here has a mouth.
I originally had one, but it looked
Let's see,
weird.
who here is in GAN mouth and who isn't? Like, you have a mouth, you do not have a mouth. You have not a face.
So
Yes.
so I think your April Fool's video, Puff, should just be like. Hello everyone, BugmanCX here, and I've got something a little bit different for you today because I was invited on a world tour of PuffingFish's single-player world from his Unobtained series, and if you haven't seen that series before, then you should definitely check it out. The idea is that Puff's playing the game in survival, but focusing on collecting things that you shouldn't normally be able to get, things that are normally unobtainable, or things that you can't obtain anymore. Oh, that could be things like spawners, or end portal frames, or bedrock as an item, and other weird things like mobs or enchantments that shouldn't even exist. Anyway, let's drop into the world and see who we're on tour with and have a look around. And if you want to check out Puff's series, I've left links in the description below.
Hello, guys. So this is the episode 40 World Tour of Unobtained, and I have 6 guests with me. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Oh, well, I am Living Computer, aka Joey. I am here, I think, for bribery because I made a documentary about this guy over here. And, well, yeah, I'm a physics student and I play Minecraft.
My name is Bugman. I've been playing Minecraft for a few years, but I never really played any of the early stuff, so I do a YouTube series where I'm going back and upgrading a survival world through all of the versions from as far back as I could, and it's a ton of fun.
I'm Slim Jim. I play Minecraft a lot, way more than I probably should, and I'm obsessed with lists and villagers.
Who isn't?
Exactly.
I'm IGN, and I am mostly just a technical Minecraft player, and I recently got into technical Minecraft on lower versions, like 1.7.
And I'm Halka, and I play technical Minecraft on the Cycroft server. I haven't played Minecraft for that long, like 3 years, which is not that long, and only 1 year on a technical server.
We also had Blue Crab join us a little bit late, and Blue Crab created the Minecraft Discontinued Wiki. The Discontinued Wiki contains information about how to obtain all of these unusual items, just like a lot of the ones that you're seeing featured here in the series, and you should check it out. I've left a link in the description below.
Okay, very cool. Anything else you guys want to say about yourselves?
Yeah, who are you?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay.
About yourselves, idiot. No.
Okay, so I about 2 years ago, or wait, was it a year ago? I don't remember. A while ago, I got the idea to play Minecraft with the idea to exploit it until it gave me something I wanted. So I started this world, and this world is the results of a lot of bugs, glitches, and experiments. So yes. Oh, it's called Unobtained, by the way. That's pretty important. Let's go ahead and get started here. I think the first place to start is the version that I started this world in, which was beta 1.9 pre-release 3. So I think the first place actually is this glass pillar. So the significance of this is in this version, when you loaded a world in like a brand new world in beta 1.9 pre-3, it would generate strongholds with glass pillars sticking out of them, and it would also sometimes generate a stronghold at 0, 0. And so if you look at your coordinates here, we are very close to 0, 0. So there's actually a stronghold under 0, 0 in my world.
And you started in this version because you wanted the glass pillars, really?
Yeah, that's
I like
basically...
the seat specifically for that.
So I actually this was lucky because I did a random seed for this world. However, yeah, if you wanted to make sure, you would select a seed and you would make sure that it has that there. But you cannot actually see this in certain seed viewers because it's kind of glitched out. So it's kind of interesting that you have to actually load the world and see.
So for the people at home, this spawned it naturally because Jeb was testing, right?
Yeah, this is just a testing thing, and yeah.
Awesome.
I guess they needed a way to find them quickly because they're really annoying to find otherwise.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
game mode 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
think
have
the
that.
I think the main reason they used these was because the Eye of Ender did not guide you to the stronghold yet, so this is really the only way to find them.
Here it is, the humble abode here.
Nostalgic.
And so in the same version, you could also get end portal frames by blowing them up. So that was one of the first things that inspired me to do this series. And in this top chest here, you can see a bunch of them that I duplicated to have them in my world.
I think this was one of the first things that I saw you do when I discovered your series. And for me, it was one of the things that also inspired me to want to go and find other weird stuff in the series that I do.
I think this, yeah, it's really interesting because you think of these as a creative inventory only item, and then when you realize that at some point they were available to survival players, it's kind of mind-boggling. So I'm
And
able
that
to
they were
build
so
end
different
portals.
looking.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the old textures are very interesting. I'll put a picture up on screen for people watching my video.
I'm not even sure why they chose that original texture or what the thinking was. Puff, I really like this.
Uh-oh.
This, the glowstone and the leaves. It just looks really good.
Yes.
Hmm.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not, but I think it looks pretty good.
No, I'm not being sarcastic. I like it.
So this is actually, I did build this one. This is my own. I built this one with my illegal goods. My very first discovery that I made, and that is feather falling on all items. And this was in the same version as Pre 3. When you enchanted something, the enchantment would end up being feather falling when you, like, on anything. And so in these chests, you can see a leather tunic with feather falling, a leather cap with feather falling. And all these are different armors with feather falling on them. The boots aren't that special, but the other ones are.
And they actually work, right? So feather falling pants works.
Yes, so unfortunately I missed the window to combine them in a, I believe, a 1.4 snapshot when anvils were kind of
We think
broken.
it's 1.4.
Okay, so if you guys remember, previously we saw the spawners in here with the end portal frames.
Yep.
So those were popular to the common myth. They were obtained with Silk Touch, just not in any regular version. This was in beta 1.9 pre-release 4, and that's when Silk Touch was being kind of tested and all that stuff.
But it was possible to get spawners earlier than that. You just didn't run those versions because you started in beta.
Correct, yeah, this is the last version that this is possible that I know of. Next, I would like to take a look at a very special pickaxe. If I can find it
Oh.
here. Yeah, here we go. So if you guys would like to have a look at this pickaxe here. Some of these have Silk Touch and Fortune together. It unfortunately just functions like Silk Touch. You don't get multiple Silk Touch blocks. That would be very cool, but unfortunately, no.
I wonder if that's something to do with the way that the game prioritizes the enchants. Because it's, well, this one says Silk Touch above Fortune in the list.
I think
Yeah,
the way it works is Silk Touch always overrides Fortune. I think that's just kind of hard coded in.
That must be the same then. They must have either coded that in, or there must be a system to prevent clashing enchants from clashing.
I knew when they came out and like the enchants were first like spoiled to the public, people were very concerned about this. So I think it might have been hard programmed in.
Yeah, because there you can get what is it on the crossbow? You can get multi-shot and the other one that isn't supposed to be on there together.
Yeah,
So,
multi-shot and piercing.
there we go.
Piercing, yeah. So these items, do you also get them in like snapshots and pre-releases, or do you just go for the main versions or the released versions?
So yeah, that's where a lot of the items are obtained and how they're possible for a single player world. Yeah, using the snapshots gives a different approach, kind of allowing for multiple glitches that aren't normally used or discovered to be used, even though it's not really as normal as most people play, I think it allows for some really interesting stuff to be obtained. And throughout the versions and stuff, I have had instances where my world has just completely broken and I had to load a backup. So this is a very risky way to play if you are interested in playing this way.
Yeah.
In this chest up here, you'll notice that there is some villager spawn eggs and pig spawn eggs and blaze and slime spawn eggs. Yeah, so those were obtained in 11W49A. And so in that version, you could press B and all of a sudden you're in creative mode. So that's a very fun thing to mess with. Now, this is probably one of the first controversial versions because you do go into creative. So it was my idea just to show it off. I didn't get Bedrock from that version. I did get some other things from that version that I could get later on. So this used to be a update suppressed portal, but I unfortunately had a water issue happen.
Aww.
So I had to do a new one. And
I'm so sad about that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
7 update suppression.
Can you just briefly explain what it used to look like?
Yeah, so wherever you see this stone cut out, the portal would actually be attached to the stone instead of the obsidian behind it. And behind it would be just a wall of glowstone. And
Yeah.
so just imagine the portal 1 block forward and in this shape. So it was really cool while it lasted, but unfortunately it broke. So you may notice that it's a little bit watery in here.
Yeah.
So
Blue crab
if you
feels
ever-
right at home, I guess. The same for you, Puff, actually.
Oh yeah, I should be in here really.
Yeah, because we
If I
just
can
stay
figure
there,
out how
all
this
I
works.
can take over the tour. So, guys, here we are in the Nether. Puff, please take over.
Okay, so in 1.2.5, if you put ice in the Nether, it would melt and turn into water. So obviously using that, you can, get some nice water features in your Nether if you ever feel like cooling off. And I found that to be a really fun, interesting bug, and so I decided that I wanted my Nether hub to be a water park.
This particular
Of course.
thing is something that's been on my to-do list as well for the longest time because I think it's just so fun, and I've always been a fan of taking aspects of the other dimensions and then bringing them into other dimensions, like Nether into the overworld and vice versa.
Yeah, so I really thought this was a fun project. It actually wasn't too bad, although I should make a little note. You do have to collect the ice earlier on when Silk Touch is broken, because between those versions, they actually didn't let you get ice until I think later on in 1.3. There was a point right after this that you could rename items to nothing. So if you look at this ender pearl in this chest up here, you'll notice that it actually doesn't have a name. And so it's just a little box above it. So that is a pretty interesting bug. And that was available in 12W41A. And anvils were very strange in this version. Just mark my words. So in the same version, you could also, or in a later version, in 49A, you could enchant any item with any enchantment. So that's why all these items have enchantments on them. And in the bottom one, you can see I actually did some Curse of Vanishing on certain items. This was a later addition for the enchantments. I think this was when Curse of Vanishing was added, but I'm not positive.
And do they disappear on death, just
Yeah,
like
I was
anything
about to
else?
I believe so. Let's try it out.
You drop nothing.
Nothing.
So there
sorry,
we
I
go.
missed it. Can you do it again?
All
No,
right.
joking.
Die.
This is one of the first things I did build outside of spawn was this floating rail roller coaster. So if anyone wants to hop in the minecart and push the button,
Oh, I'm in.
give it a go,
What?
and off you go.
It has so much potential, this
Right.
invisible
I
track.
was very early game when I did this, so it was kind of tough to do anything more. But I have a feeling that it's possible later down the line, but I don't know how yet.
update suppression.
I
Oh,
was
well, there's
able to
that.
I was able to do this in early beta, but only for a single rail. I was able to do it by placing a water source and then placing the rail block immediately after.
Oh yeah, block by
Yeah.
yeah block
Right,
place.
right, right.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the whip building. Work in progress, so I don't think it will ever be finished. But
That's the whole point.
in the furnaces, you can see some interesting items and interesting slots. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. And Blue Crab actually was one of the people that discovered this. This was his discovery. And it was the invalid items in brewing stands. Yeah, so this was all done with the 13W01A hopper. And that's what inspired the name of this building, actually. Because it had a texture that looked exactly like the sign up there. Because the texture wasn't finished at the time. So they just had a work in progress as the texture for it.
Which means that they made a whole texture for the purposes of work in progress. But did they ever use this texture for anything else that was still in progress, or just the hopper?
Not that I know of.
They used a work in progress texture for the beacon in 1.2, but you can only get it in creative.
Ah.
So they did use it for other things, but other than the beacon and the hopper, I can't think of anything else.
This guy here obviously is missing his axe. And that was due to when you loaded a woodland mansion in, let's see here, what version was it? 16W40A was the version that it's when you loaded those woodland mansions, these guys would generate without an axe, and then you could take them back and they wouldn't do much damage to you.
So I guess that when they spawn in now, they have an axe that doesn't have durability, or can you let it lose the axe by making it use the axe until it runs out of durability, like you can
I'm not too
with the
sure.
crossbows?
Yeah, it doesn't use durability.
Doesn't. It's like a zombie or something.
So yeah, the next thing here is this nitwit, but oh, it actually lasts until 116. That's so.
And if you
Yeah,
can
the
move
network with trades.
with Slim Jim. Hey, Slim Jim.
And the next one here in the building is the Surge book. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, but it's the only book that doesn't have my name on it, since this is a single player world. It's actually signed by someone else, and he never joined my world. So.
How did you get
Wait,
the book?
what?
So yeah, you would find it in place of an elytra at the end ships.
That's
So,
right.
Oh yeah. It's a thing.
they are pretty cool, and they have some text in it. He did decide to write me a message, luckily.
We will have something else here soon.
Yeah,
That's
very
awesome.
ominous.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that I got was Bedrock here. That's actually become more and more obtainable in recent discoveries in the technical Minecraft community, but in 15W47C, that's one of the ones I remember, believe it or not. You could obtain Bedrock by using end crystals, and it would actually have a chance of dropping one of the bedrocks.
But I thought it was the case that Jeb fixed this by making the bedrock block not have a droppable item.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have figured a way around that.
So now we can go to the end because we're getting close. Yeah, don't look at Enderman.
the
Unfortunately.
Enderman dragon in the
dear.
boat.
Oh,
boy.
Okay, hold on.
Just
I'll fix
real.
this.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna go check out right now. Is I got a captive Ender Dragon in my world. You'll
Is
see
there
a
like
little
farm?
Ender Dragon just
Oh.
there on a little obsidian platform
In a boat.
in a boat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's so cute.
So this was done in the same version that you could get Bedrock. So needless to say, 15W47C was very broken.
Yeah.
Looks very silly from the front.
It is. I don't quite understand it.
I mean, look at
but-
the tail.
The tail? Oh, it's like an excited dog. Oh, now I want to pet him.
Okay, so I thought it would be fitting that we end the tour by getting an unobtainable together.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I've actually saved this one. It's been saving for a while. A while ago, I stored some mobs, a zombie and a skeleton with some armor on them. And this was when armor slots were different. So now, when we load them, they actually will have armor in their hands. So, right down here, I set up a little area,
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
So fun. Just in.
and it didn't work.
Oh,
Okay.
hi.
T-Dog and Kinar. Is there like a version range that we need to...
So,
Really?
yeah, that might be something that I overlooked.
Blue Crab, you're basically a walking dictionary. What's
Oh.
going on?
This is
When
actually
did you?
fun to discover.
So these
Let me
were
find it.
naturally spawned with this armor, and then
Uh-huh.
you've stored them here for ages, waiting for them to convert that armor into items in their hand.
Right,
that-
and it
is
seems
that
like
right?
it didn't work. Let's see. I'm gonna find which version I did it.
So it just needs to be 1.8.9 or before to anything 18W19A or after.
So it seems I may have accidentally loaded it, or something like that. So unfortunately, I ruined it, guys. Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
That's okay.
Sad.
Somebody find a baby zombie villager. We can still salvage this.
I'll just use my imagination.
So yeah, the idea is that in their hands would be armors. So unfortunately, I might have to, yeah, figure out a new way to do it. Even though I did make some mistakes with this world, I do think it's still, it's still got a lot to obtain, and I think that into the future versions, I can maybe even get some things that are even more insane, hopefully.
This was a
You
lot
know
of fun.
also-
I've followed along your series from the point in which I discovered it, and so it's really fun to be here in the world and check it out from a different point of view. You did forget one thing. Killer Bunny.
Oh my goodness, I did!
Oh, you have that one?
Do you have
Oh,
it?
Helga
I
loves
haven't.
it.
Oh no, I
Off we
forgot
go.
the best part. That actually is
is
my
the-
favorite. Yeah, over here
Oh.
we have the little this cave down here. There's an Enderman, sorry about that. And in the deep dark cave,
Oh,
Never mind.
It's like from Monty Python, precisely. I love
There
this.
it is.
Never mind the locals.
Unleash the bunny!
yeah. So if you want to get killed by it, you guys can go and yeah.
The killer bunny.
And
Kill me.
toast.
Down.
I want to
Wait,
get
is
killed
that
by.
toast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Why is
toast.
toast? Oh wait, if you rename it, it will like change skin, but not. It will
Yeah.
still be
Yeah,
a
but
killer
it's still
bunny.
a killer bunny. They're quite dangerous, these creatures.
Yeah. So I forgot about this one. I'm actually ashamed that I forgot
Oh.
about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Shame
I'm here to help.
Thank you. Thank you.
What the heck, Toast? Why is Toast attacking me?
It's also a killer bunny.
Ah.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Just
it's
renamed.
with a different skin.
So that's
yeah.
even
Or
other
renamed.
like.
Yeah.
So
that's even
I actually was
rarer.
able to.
Oh, no.
Got them, boys.
And
That
you
is-
I was able
breed them.
to.
That is the first time I've been slain by Toast. Well, I want to say a huge thank you to Puff for inviting me along to tour his Unobtained world. And of course, you should check out the series. Its links are down in the description below. Plus, hopefully, links to all of the others who are on the tour here with me as well. And perhaps some of them might have posted a little bit longer versions of the tour because I did have to trim down the footage a little bit. But thanks for joining me on the tour, and I will hopefully see you in my series, Minecraft The Journey. For now, bye-bye.